If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check the referral links down in the description. They'll take you to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods already, and with the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well.
Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again, and welcome to episode number 111 of the Career Mode Road to Glory here on FIFA 15. We're out of the transfer window now. We've signed plenty of new players though. Obviously the past couple of episodes have been absolutely filled with loads of transfers, and one of our new transfers starts in goal today. Kieran Westwood, our brand new 74 rated goalkeeper, hoping to stand in just for one season whilst we wait for a couple of youngsters to come through the system and really flourish so that they can take that first team spot. We've also got Andy Kellett, the left back, starting, and of course Hector Bellerin, who was on loan last year and has been made permanent this year, also starts in this one, with our two familiar strikers, Fabian Cassada and Strihal Georgiev up top in offence. But obviously Manchester United at home, easier at home than it is away, but still not an easy game to say the least. But Fabian Cassada turns inside nicely here in the opening few minutes. It seems to be a trait with every single save on career mode that Manchester United never really have a standout big name goalkeeper. They've got another youngster in between the sticks in this one, and it just baffles me that the game seems to do this all the time. It doesn't really make too much sense, but they're having some chances of their own at the other end here. It's our goalkeeper that's being worried right now, with Kieran Westwood having to watch that one flash past his post. He punches clear there, and we try and catch him on the counter-attack. Georgiev and Cassada, neither of which are blessed with electric pace, but they're both kind of fast enough, you might say. Georgiev is left-footed though, did really well to actually dink it over the tackle of the defender earlier on in the run. Unfortunately the finish was a little bit tame and it was straight at the goalkeeper, although he did make a meal of it, try and palm it away rather than just straight up catch it. But it was involved here again, Georgiev, this time a better save down low by Evans, but still palming it away, not able to keep hold of it. We were hoping that maybe one of those deflections might go our way a little bit later on, but Aguadar is going to try and break through the defence here, plays it into Georgiev again, space for Cassada, try a finesse shot just wide of the post. That's the closest we've come so far to a goal. Beat the keeper, but beat the woodwork as well, and unfortunately whipped just the wrong side of the big white stick. But then they came up on the counter-attack the other end on the hour mark, as you can see. Daily Blind into Steinman, who is their kind of glitched new player. Brilliant save down low by Kieran Westwood, and top defending by Cardoso as well to ensure that the follow-up strike, I think it was Wayne Rooney, doesn't get there. And we're on the 70th minute mark now. Again, pressure from Man United and trying to catch them on the counter-attack. Georgiev twisting and turning this way and then the next. Tries to get around the outside of Rojo. He is left-footed though, and it's taken on his right, and it's a smart save by Evans, throwing up a left arm as the ball was going over the top of him to keep us out. But we picked them off in the midfield here. They didn't get the chance to pin us in the box. We caught them on the counter rapidly here. Kellett squares it across to Georgiev. This time it's on his left foot and he tidily slots it into the bottom corner, and we take the lead in the last minute of normal time. A shock 1-0 lead here for Cambridge United at home against Man United. Obviously that meant they were going to fly at me for the rest of the game throughout stoppage time, and there were 5 minutes added on as well. We had to rely on Kieran Westwood and then Lucio Cardosa and then Kieran Westwood and the defenders again to stop them from getting the ball into the back of the net. They could quite easily there, A, have had a penalty for the way that the final guy was knocked off the ball, and B, just found the back of the net, but they didn't, and we take all 3 points, so delighted to do that. And then this really annoyed me. I brought up this guy Fabian Torres, obviously from the Youth Scout report, into my youth team, and for some reason it's taken that as me actually giving him a contract, and he's going to be added into my actual first team squad, which has really annoyed me because obviously they take a jump in overall rating at the end of the season in May. Fortunately, we have another goalkeeper in our youth squad at the minute, or youth scout report in the minute, in Fabian Lopez there, but he's only 5'8". I'm really annoyed because the guy Fabian Torres that we were looking at, that was the whole reason why we let Pedro Galese go, brought in Kieran Westwood as a replacement for 1 year to then have Fabian Torres improve in May, come into the first team and be my #1 goalkeeper. Unfortunately, it's kind of glitched, and Fabian Torres has ended up in the first team squad now, and he's only 60 rated, and he could quite possibly have been, 68, 69, 70 plus rated by the time January came around. So I'm going to try and play him in some low-key games to see if we can help his potential grow. Obviously, he does have potential of 78 to 92, I think it was. So if he gets to first-team football, then he will grow into a decent keeper. It's just he's having a bit of an early setback, and it might take a little bit longer for him to develop into the goalkeeper goalkeeper that we want him to be. But I'm going to try and avoid the same sort of glitch with the other goalkeeper that we showed you a minute ago. But apparently they're both called Fabian as well, which is really strange. But the second guy, Fabian Lopez, I believe it was, he's only 5'8", whereas Fabian Torres is 6 foot, I think. I'll have to double check when I go back to record the next episode. But I was really annoyed about that. But we have got a couple of very, very good players on the horizon with those scout reports. It seems that the money that we spent at the end of last season on those youth scouts looks like it could be well spent, but we'll have to wait and see. Currently though, in this game, in the Capital One Cup, we are 2-0 down against Chesterfield, and they gave me a very, very tough game here. Obviously playing a full rotation side in this one, considering the gap in between the Man United game at the weekend and then this one on the Tuesday. We bring one back there through Casada with the header in the 70th minute to make it 2-1. And then we're going to try and break through again here with Casada into the box, turns inside, lays it off to Ranti, slight swipe at his feet there, and could have gone down, decided not to do so, but we recover the ball, going to work it back into Ranti again, on the edge of the box, cuts inside, then gets taken out again. A lunging challenge, not too much contact, but the referee deemed fit to give it as a penalty. You'll see from the replay, A, not much contact just there, didn't really knock him off his stride, and B, only just inside the box. But Casada's going to get the chance to get his second and our second of the game to bring us back on level terms, and he does so, but only by the skin of his teeth. Goalkeeper does very well to get an arm to it, but it goes up, hits the bar, he's heading out, and then hits the keeper on the arm again and goes over the line. An absolute let-off for us. We're back on level terms, and as you can tell from the clock in the top left, into extra time. Jack Grealish coming down the left-hand side. He's starting in the rotation side, but obviously as I become more and more acquainted with him, he'll probably find his way coming into the first team starting lineup more so than not. Although obviously we have Nicholas Spaller as well, the youngster, that's growing quite nicely. So a lot of good competition in the squad right now for places with good quality players, but we get ourselves a lead here. Not necessarily needed to be quite so exuberant with the finish there. Ranti could have just side-footed it in. Regardless, so threw himself at it, gets the goal to give us a 3-2 lead and a 3-2 win. So we're through to the next round of the Capital One Cup. Just don't know how I made such a meal of that game, but we are over the line and we scrape into the next round of the competition. Then we come up against Newcastle away from home. Obviously, a very, very strong side at St James's Park. Got Tim Krul in goal still, who, again, one of the best keepers in the Premier League, so it's not going to be easy to find the way past him. Yanga and Biwa and Lascelles at the back. Obviously, Lascelles we had on loan at Forest in the first year of the Football Manager series. And obviously, with the week that we had in between the Man United game and this game, all of our first team players were fit again, apart from Cassidy, who obviously has played in both games so far in today's episode. So he took a seat on the bench for the game winner Ranti in the previous one, so hopefully he'll be able to have an impact on this game as well. But it was Newcastle that were pushing forward with the first chance of the game. Davide Santon squares it across to Brownie Day. The shot beats the goalkeeper, and it's only a good block by the defender behind him that keeps them out. A similar chance to the one that Man United had at the very death of the first game in the episode, beating the goalkeeper, but it was a fantastic defensive positioning from my guys that stopped the opposition from scoring. But Jack Colback completely does me there with that turn, really well done. Then CM de Jong's in the box, he turns really well also, good shot, well saved by Kieran Westwood. It doesn't quite come to safety though, and it was the pressure on Sissoko there from Andy Kellett that stopped him from getting the ball into the back of the net. We put him off so much so that he hit the post with an open goal in front of him, and then we were able to scramble it clear. Then the pace of Nicholas Spaller is obviously going to be a threat to any side down that left-hand side. Brilliant ball in, and an even better header from Ranti. A very, very good goal. You'll see from the replays, actually, it was extremely well placed, an exquisite, accurate finish that actually I didn't expect from him. He's got finishing of 75, but his heading accuracy isn't that high, Ranti, but still, you'll see from the replay from behind the goal, he's past the penalty spot, as you can see, and he just angles it back across goal into that top corner. Tim Krul is an extremely good goalkeeper, but there's nothing he can do about a shot that is that well placed, and Ranti's involved again here. Pace to burn, gets past the defender, shot is blocked, and then it bounces back to him and shot's blocked again, and unfortunately it drops to a defender, Daryl Yanmat, rather than the onrushing Georgiev to try and knock it into an empty net. And then Remy Cabella came forward for Newcastle, one player I really like on FIFA this year, and I would like to get him in one of my series before the end of FIFA 15. Good shot though from Bijurama. I'm not really too sure how to pronounce his name, to be honest, but good save by Kieran Westwood, good hands to hold it, not palming it away. But Sissoko gets into worries, good turn, and there's just too much power behind a shot like that. Unfortunately, Kieran Westwood, despite having a very good game and some very good games in fact in this series to date with his first team football so far, as our new signing, can't keep a clean sheet for back-to-back games, and unfortunately we only get a point from the away game at St James's Park. But Newcastle were extremely strong in that one. We scraped to win in the Man United game, perhaps only deserved a draw in that one, and really only deserved a draw in the Newcastle one. But it does mean that we are still joint top, although in third, obviously, on goal difference, as you can see, behind Arsenal and West Brom at this stage of the season after 4 games played. But decent start to the season for us this year. Again, we had a similar start last year and then obviously trailed off towards the latter months. We'll hope that isn't going to happen this time again. I am aiming for a Europa League spot this season, whether that be through a cup run or through finishing 5th in the league. That is the aim for the second season in the Barclays Premier League, because we have drastically improved the squad this year, and I'm hoping that we can have another good run in the cup and also put together more consistent performances in the league and maintain our kind of 5th, 6th place position in the league, rather than dropping down to 10th where we eventually finished last year. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Obviously a strong start is going to put us in good stead for the rest of the season. Question is, can it last? We'll find out over the next few weeks, but that is going to bring today's episode to a close, guys. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow with my player and another episode of this series. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check the channel page itself for anything else you may have missed over the past few days, whether it be this series, the Inter Milan series, or the My Player series. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.